Mashiach is getting ready to come.
And hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I am the Lord.
Last words, brother.
Shalom, shalom, ma.
All right.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. All right. Shabbat shalom, Yasharel. Shabbat shalom.
All right. Shabbat shalom, Israel. Another holy Shabbat, and we're here again.
Yes, sir. Pray everybody's having a blessed Shabbat. Get ready. Got everything prepped. Got all your stuff done. Got all your worries. Got all your stresses. Take this day. Don't think about anything but the Most High's graces and His power, and to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling. And looks like you all got a 1 in the chat box. All praises to the Most High.
That's right.
So we're going to go ahead and get into our scripture reading. We're going to go ahead and go to the book of Jubilees.
Let me pull this up real quick.
There you go. Go ahead and pull that on up.
All right, man.
Yes, sir.
Praises to the Most High, to the scattered tribes on the four corners of the earth. Let's go ahead and get this thing started, man. You want to go ahead and start it out? Start at verse 7, and then I'll hit verse 6. Let's start it.
I sure will. You going to start at verse 11?
We'll start at you start
at 11, and then okay, so I'll take it from 7 then. Scroll that back down.
Okay.
All righty, let's get it. And do thou write for thyself all these words which I declare unto thee this day, for I know their rebellion and their stiff neck, before I bring them into the land of which I swear to their fathers, to Abraham and to Isaac and to Jacob, saying, unto your seed will I give a land flowing with milk and honey. Verse 8, and they will eat and be satisfied. They will turn to strange gods, to gods which cannot deliver them from aught of their tribulation. And this witness shall be heard for a witness against them, for they will forget all my commandments, even all that I command them, and they will walk after the Gentiles, which we see today, and after their uncleanness, and after their shame, and will serve their gods, and these will prove unto them an offense and a tribulation and an affliction and a snare. And this is why we as a people are going through the things that we're going through now. And it's so bad now that you would have to literally just be completely destroyed not to see this, which many of our people are. Verse 9, and many will perish, and they will be taken captive, and will fall into the hands of the enemy, because they have forsaken my ordinances and my commandments, and the festivals of my covenant, and my Shabbats in my holy place, which I have hallowed for myself in the midst, and my tabernacle and my sanctuary, which I have hallowed for myself in the midst of the land, that I should set my name upon it, and that it should dwell there. Let's scroll that up a little bit.
I got you, brother.
All right. And last verse for me, verse 10. And they will make to themselves high places and groves and graven images. All these Christmas trees and Easter bunny eggs and St. Patrick's Day, popping off of fireworks, dressing up in the American flag, eating pork chops, all kinds of stuff. Each his own graven images, so as to go astray, and they will sacrifice their children to demons. Man, that's right there. That right there falls within the lesson. And to all the works of the error of their hearts.
That's right. In verse 11, and I will send witnesses unto them, that I may witness against them, but they will not hear. And will slay the witnesses also, and they will persecute those who seek the law. And they will abrogate and change everything so as to work every evil before my eyes. And I will hide my face from them. Right? We've seen that the Most High, he has hidden his face from us. We don't see any miracles today, right? We don't have any new prophets on the earth or anything like that, right? All the prophets are dead, right? The Most High, he's not really before us. We have to pray and have faith that HaMashiach will come and restore us, right? Restore the kingdom of Israel. And I will hide my face from them, and I will deliver them into the hand of the Gentiles for captivity, and for a prey, and for devouring. And I will remove them from the midst of the land, and I will scatter them amongst the Gentiles. And see, this is how we know that the scriptures are absolutely 100% true, because the Lord has done what he said he will do. We are scattered to the four corners of the earth among
right.
these heathens, right? And they will forget all my law and all my commandments and all my judgments, and will go astray as to new moons, Sabbaths, and festivals, and jubilees, and ordinances. And after this, they will turn to me from amongst the Gentiles with all their heart, and with all their soul, and with all their strength. And I will gather them from amongst the Gentiles, and they will seek me, so that I shall be found of them when they seek me with all their heart and with all their soul. So we do have a bright future ahead of us. There will be a time where, we'll stop, twerking and, having all this other crazy stuff that we're going on in our community, right? Hey, man, we're going to, so we're going to return back to the Lord, right? The Lord's going to come back and he will deliver us. And I will disclose to them abounding peace with righteousness. And I will remove them from the plant of uprightness with all my heart and with all my soul. And they shall be for a blessing and not for a curse. Because, everybody hates us right now. Every nation hates the true biblical Israelites, right? So-called Negroes that are scattered to the four corners of the earth. And they shall be the head and not the tail, because we damn sure the tail. And I will build my sanctuary in their midst, and I will dwell with them. And I will be their God, and they shall be my people. All right.
All right. So we're calling this lesson Agents on the Left-Hand Side. And you're going to see where we're going with this because, one thing I realize, it's a dangerous thing to play with the Almighty. And too many of our people, we play around, we play games with the Most High. And, if we haven't seen it yet, and if we have not realized after so many captivities and we're still wicked and we're even further behind and further in the rabbit hole than we've ever been, if they can't see that, then, the Most High help them because our people are truly destroyed. I want to pull up something right quick. Let me show you something. Let's go to Isaiah 45.
Bring it out. All
right, we want to establish a foundation here because we want to make sure we understand that the Almighty is not playing games. All right, and I'm going to show you a couple more in Judges how the Most High sent evil spirits unto people because when you're wicked and you want to be wicked and incarnately, the Most High will send you evil spirits to increase your wickedness. Isaiah 45:7, it says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. All right. You got to understand here, we're talking about a powerful, mighty El that can just do things that is you can't even imagine. And this is why it behooves you to make haste to keep these laws to be obedient unto the Most High. If you want an example, you look at those fallen angels and look at the judgments that's facing them right now.
That's right.
And they're sitting around locked up, having to worry about that. That's like the greatest anticipation. You know how you about to get a whooping, and you want to hurry up and get it over with, and you can't rush it. You got to sit there and wait. And like these angels have been waiting for 1,000 years just to get killed, to get destroyed.
It's the worst kind of
man. That is crazy. All right, let's go to 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel 16:16.
Just to add further to that point that you were bringing out, in Romans 9, it speaks about how the Most High, he makes certain vessels for glory, right? And he makes certain vessels for him to destroy, right? So, we really have no power on what the Most High wants to do. Not at all, right? Because, we don't know his will, right? We don't know his will. Whatever his will is, it will be done.
That's right.
Just like he
And
made Pharaoh, he made him for him to destroy.
that's right.
Huh.
That's right. I want to bring it up in this other one right quick. Let me pull this one up right quick. Share the screen. Because I want y'all to, to see, man, this stuff it's wild, y'all. And just to let you know that the Most High is not playing no games. All right, now I guess I can share the screen again.
All right.
All right. Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about this thing. You can't share. You can't have multiple things at the same time. You can only do either one or.
Yeah.
All right. So let's look at this real closely here. It says, "Let our Lord now command thy servants which are before thee to seek out a man who is cunning player on the harp. And it shall come to pass," he's talking about David, of course, "and it shall come to pass when the evil spirit from God is upon thee, that he shall play with his hand, and thou shalt be well. And Saul said unto his servants, Provide me now a man that can play well, and bring him to me." And as you read down and everything, because Saul was the first king. All right, that's when Israel wanted to have kings instead of judges. But the outcome of Saul, he was being wicked, and the Most High had to put an evil spirit on him. And ain't that, man? That is scary. that is scary, man. To even think about that, to have here you are a leader, and man, the Most High is putting the evil spirit on you.
Man, it's just
man, that's like, and it's like you getting worse and worse. And man, that joint. Oh my goodness, man. That stuff is horrifying.
It is, man, because people don't realize that we're being tested every day. Every day is a test for you to get the kingdom. Like I said, man, the kingdom is not something that anyone should take lightly. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's an eternal glory, an eternal life that's being sustained by the Most High God. So in order for you to get something like that, even though in the beginning the pathway to that was wide, but now it is slim. The scriptures say in Enoch and in other scriptures that, what if it's like, it's a treacherous way, it's alligators on the right and a bear pit and a snake pit on the left, and it's one, but it's only one way, and it's a skinny way that you travel through this path that's really treacherous, and then you come into an opening, and then boom, right? The fantastic kingdom where everything is, glorious. That's the way it takes for us to get there. Right. So in order for you to get that, right, we got to understand that the way to get there is not going to be easy. Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah. And just to iterate on that, tests, like Brother Eitan, was saying, we go through tests. It may come in the form of thought. You may be thinking of something. And then the more you meditate on that evil thought, guess what? It's going to manifest, because what does the scripture says, a lust comes through the eyes, and then, it's conceived, and then you act upon it. And this is why we need to, anytime we get in a situation where we feel like we're about to go off, hey, we need to put those scriptures in our head. Sing some tunes in your head. Even if you can't sing, out loud, sing something in your head. Use scriptures for songs, because that's what our forefathers did. They used the scriptures for songs. Judges 9:23, and it says, "Then God sent an evil spirit between Abimelech and the men of Shechem. And the men of Shechem dealt treacherously with Abimelech." And this is to go to show you that how, remember we read in Isaiah 45 that, remember, the Most High creates darkness and he creates light. He does all those things, to serve his purpose. That's what we call, this lesson, agents on the left-hand side, because there is something more to it. I'm telling you, y'all. And I'm going to share later on too, after Brother Eitan, give some more things, how those fallen angels, those children, how they are reserved and how they are spirits on the earth. I mean, it's crazy. Hey, the spirit world is real, Yasharel, and it ain't nothing to play with. And when our people are outside of the Most High's graces and outside of his laws, commandments, and statutes, they playing with fire. We got too much technology. We got too much information for our people to be ignorant.
That's right.
Way too much. Yeah. Let me just show you one more. right quick, and I'm gonna turn it over to Brother Aton. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 28, one of my favorite ones that I like to bring out because, our people got to be reminded that the Most High is not playing. Can you see that on the screen up?
God, I got you, brother. I see it
All
right
right.
there. Deuteronomy 28.
Now,
Bring it out.
now, watch this, y'all. It says, "And it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught. And ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it." Now, mind you, this doesn't apply to everybody. This only applies to the wicked. Our people who want to be wicked, our people who want to be stiff-necked, knowing the truth, Pastor Porkchop, who knows the truth, but because of that dollar, because he getting that money, he getting all them gifts from the members, got that Cadillac, got that Benz, Mercedes, man, you ain't thinking about teaching nobody the truth. And see, the Most High is cursing them even more, sending them evil spirits so they can be even more wicked. And just because they got 5,000 members in their church, they think they're under the graces of the Almighty. They think they're being blessed because they got 5,000 members, and the pastor's driving the Benz and Mercedes, and living in a 7-bedroom house. Oh, we blessed. Yo, God blessed us. And you sitting up there preaching falsehood, full of evil spirits. What you got out?
Let's see. Let's go to 1 Kings, right? Because I want to get two. All right. I know y'all remember that time when them boys was trying to stand against the prophet. Let me see. Let's go to 1 Kings. All right. Let me see. Can I add him on the stage? Let me see. Take yours. All right. Can you see that up? Is that up?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right.
I just don't see the scriptures yet. Okay, yeah, you got it.
Let's go to 18, I believe. All right. Now, right. We had the prophet Micaiah, right? And he was trying to warn King Ahab whether or not he should go to battle, right? And every time he came to Micaiah, he always had something bad to say. So, the king Ahab, he really didn't like Micaiah that much, right? So I guess we'll start on, let me see. We'll start. Okay. I guess we'll start at verse 12. All right. We'll start at verse 12. I like that number anyway, right? We'll start at verse 12. Right. And it says, and all the prophets prophesied and says, Go up to Ramoth Gilead and prosper, for the Lord shall deliver it into the king's hand. Now he's already been warned not to go, right? But he's going to do it anyway. And these prophets, they were lying. And the messenger that was gone out to call Micaiah spake unto him, saying, Behold, now the words of the prophets declare good unto the king with one mouth. Let thy word, I pray thee, be like the word of one of them, and speak that which is good. And Micaiah said, As the Lord liveth, what the Lord saith unto me, that will I speak. All right? Because we have to understand, right, that the Most High, he's not about lollipops, daffodils, sunflowers, and floating on the cloud, right? We're dealing with the Lord that he is strictly about obedience, laws, statutes, and commandments, right? When it talks about love in the scriptures, it's not a gushy feeling or any of that stuff. He's talking about, his love is you keeping the commandments. That's the love, right? You treating your brother like you want to be treated, right? You obeying the Most High, and you keeping his laws, and you're not going off to the left-hand side. You're not going off to the right-hand side. You're going down the straight path, right? That straight way. And the messenger that was gone to call Micaiah spake unto him, saying, Behold, now the words of the prophets declare good unto the king with one mouth. Let thy word, I pray thee, be like the word of one of them, and speak that which is good. And Micaiah said, As the Lord liveth, what the Lord saith unto me, that will I speak. So he came into the king. And the king said unto him, Micaiah, shall we go against Ramoth-Gilead to battle, or shall we forbear? Right? Forbear means not go. Let's chill out. And he answered him, Go and prosper, for the Lord shall deliver it into the hand of the king. And the king has said unto him, How many times shall I adjure thee that thou wilt tell me nothing but that which is true in the name of the Lord? And he said, I saw all Israel, right? So this is what he says. And he said, I saw all Israel scattered upon the hills as sheep that have not a shepherd. And the Lord said, These have no master. Let them return every man to his house in peace. Right? So what does that mean? Right? Now, if he's the king going up to battle, all of a sudden he just sees the sheep that are scattered upon the hill, and then the sheep are returning back to the house with no master. What does that mean? That the king got killed, right? That's not a good prophecy, right? Brother Micaiah had already told him, hey, man, the Most High said, you go, you're going to get killed. And the king, of course, he was a hater of the word of the Lord, just like those brothers that was in the desert, right? And that's in the wilderness, always murmuring and complaining. And, you know, they're against what the Most High wants to do. And the king of Israel said it to Jehoshaphat, did I not tell thee that he will prophesy no good concerning me but evil? Right? And he said again, hear thou the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne and all the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. And the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth-Gilead? Right? So the Lord, he's sitting there, right? This is the vision that he's seeing, that the Lord had, you know, the host of angels on the left and the angels on the right. And one said on this matter and another said on that matter. So they're all pitching forth ideas. Hey, Lord, why don't you try this? You know, why don't you try this, Lord? Why don't you, send a bowling, send a fiery ball down and hit him upside the head? You know, it could have been a number of things that they could have just been wishing that the Most High would have done, right? And there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? Like, wherewith means like how? And he said, I will go forth and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also and go forth and do so. See, the Lord wanted him to die. Right? The Lord didn't want him to go. The Lord wanted him to die. All right. Now, therefore, behold, the Lord hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of all thy prophets, and the Lord has spoken evil concerning thee. But Zedekiah, the son of Cheniah, went near and smote Micaiah on the cheek and said, which way went the spirit of the Lord from me that speak unto thee? Hey, man, they slapped the man. They was mad at what the man said, so they slapped the prophet. You see that right there? Right, they was mad, but see, we see that what? That the agents, like we literally say, on the left-hand side, because we don't know whether it's left or the right, but we know that, but we just call it on the left-hand side because usually we know that the left-hand side is, considered things that are not righteous, because Hamashiach stands at the right hand of God, right? So we see that he had put, right, a lying spirit in the mouth of those prophets for him to die. Now, a lot of people say, now and what? And he's an Israelite, right? And he's an Israelite. Let's go to the precept. I think the precept's in 2 Chronicles. Let me see. Let's go to the precept. 11 maybe? No. Hold up. 18. All right. He says, again, he said, this is 2 Chronicles chapter 18, from start at verse 18. Again, he said, therefore hear the word of the Lord. And I saw the Lord sitting upon his throne and all the hosts of heaven standing on his right hand and on his left. See, this is how we know that the story is true, right? Like the scriptures say, precept upon precept. And the Lord said, who shall entice Ahab, king of Israel, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth-Gilead? And one spake, saying after this manner, and another saying after that manner. And then came out a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will entice him. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And the Lord said, thou shalt entice him and thou shalt also prevail. Right? So the Lord had ordained it. The Lord said, you know what? I'm going to allow this thing to happen, and you're going to succeed. Go out and do so. Now, therefore, behold, the word of the Lord hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of these prophets, and the Lord has spoken evil against thee. Right? So we know that the Lord has agents, right? Secret agents, that they could come out and bless you, right? The Lord has agents, right, that can come down and destroy 5 cities if you're being wicked, right? The Lord has agents for destruction. The Lord has secret agents that come through and deal the death blow, right? When he delivered us from Egypt, he killed all the firstborn, right? You had to literally put blood above the post of your door so the death agent of the Lord will skip over you. Man, the Lord is a scary thing. The Most High God, Yahweh, he has a scary army. He has agents on all sides ready to kill and destroy all wickedness and anyone decides to go against him. Not only that, he has agents that will test you. Don't you know that these are tests? It's not like the Most High didn't tell him what to do. He said that if you go out here, guess what? You're going to die. The prophet already came and told him not to go out there. He got smoked. Them boy hit him upside the head and said, hey, man, get up out of here with that. We don't believe you. So it's not like the Most High wanted him to die. The Most High tried to give him a forbear, tried to warn him ahead of time. These are the tests that we must, every single one of us has a test that the Most High gives us.
That's right.
But it's up to us to pass it, whether or not we're going to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead, Doc. You got one?
I do. Speaking of lying spirits, let's go back to the very beginning and show a factual one that's going to make you mad. All right, because when I brought out about that lying spirit, we're talking about agents on the left hand side, like you said. That's just the title of it, left hand. But the Most High does use evil agents to test his people, especially his creation. Now, we're all tested, all right? Now, the greatest test happened in the Garden of Eden, all right? One of the greatest lying spirits of all time. Can you see it on the screen up?
God.
All right. And, hey, feel free to jump in, man. If you got anything, man, just jump right in. All right, so I'm gonna start off reading this one. It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast. Before I go, were you done with that verse?
Yeah, man. I just wanted to point out how the Most High sent those agents out to put a lying spirit in those prophets. And remember, they all died too. All them prophets got put to death.
Okay. Yep. So when you brought that lying spirit out, that made me think about this one right here. It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which is basically cunning, which the Lord had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, hath God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Now look how this joker's trying to trick. And first of all, why would he come to a woman? How come he didn't come to Adam? There's a lot to that. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. Realizing that this is their test right here. Mm-hmm. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. Because remember, the Most High told them if they eat of that tree of the knowledge of good and evil, they would die that same day. And remember, a 1,000 years is a day to the Most High. So, and they actually did die in that same day. It says, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die.
Hey.
Yeah, see that right there. Let me just go back to 3 right quick. All right, let me go back to 3 right quick because you got to see the trickery of this. It says, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And I bet you, as soon as he said this next one, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. Man, this woman probably got like, huh? Really?
Yeah, that's like confusion right there. It's like,
man.
Like, man, people do that to you today, right, man? You might know a certain thing, like, hey, man, you're not supposed to. Let's say, for example, hey, man, you're not supposed to sell drugs, right?
Mhm.
Or you're not supposed to be a dope dealer, whatever the case may be. But then you might have a buddy and be like, look, man, we can sell drugs for just a little bit of time and we won't get caught. So we can just do it for a little while. Now, you're not supposed to do this particular thing, right? Because it could, you could get negative consequences. But then somebody could come into you real quickly and, they'll point out the very few that got away. Hey, you know what? We could do it for like maybe 6 months and make this amount, and then we could just quit. And then we could got away, and then we could go ahead and get away with it. Right? That's the exact same thing that is going on here, to override your common sense, override the things that to put a little spin on it. Like, you shall not surely die. Like, man, you're not going to die right away, man. Man, you're not going to die instantly. You know what I mean? You're not going to die instantly. But see, the little, it's the truth, right? But it's like a stretch of the truth. You know what I mean? Surely die. Like the serpent knows that, you're going to die, all right, but you might not die instantly right then. You know what I mean? So it's like, it gives you like some kind of, it tricks your brain into thinking that, hey, well, hold on, well, maybe I can get away with this or something. You know what I mean? Or maybe there's some way that I could escape this. Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, and this is only the starter verse. It's the next verse. It's the next verse that got her curiosity. Now, you got to understand what's going on here. It says, "For God do know that in the days." Now, you got this evil speak. You got this lying spirit saying that, trying to speak for the Creator. It says, "For God do know that in the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open." All right. "And ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil."
Man, hey,
All
that's
right?
just like a
And
both thing.
Yeah, and so when you really think about that now, when he said that to her, "For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open." The moment she gave heed to that, began to get curiosity. I can be like a god. You mean I can be equal to Adam? I can be my own boss.
Man, I mean, you can tell that the serpent is
Man,
trying to convince her to do this. Even though
yep.
she knows what the right thing is to do, she is being convinced to do something else. And
Mm.
the reason why I believe that the serpent had went to the woman and he knew better than to go to Adam is because the woman was created for a helpmeet. And for
Exactly.
you to be a helpmeet on the earth, right, that means you have to have a natural spirit of wanting to follow. Right? A natural spirit of wanting to be led. Right? Because if you look at it, like if we were just, start everything over and take away all these nice amenities that we built and all these inventions that we built, and we, go back to the bare bones of situations, right? You wouldn't, everything will fall back in a normal situation. Well, let me go ahead and follow the man because, he's going to be able to go ahead and forage for water and hunt and do all of these things, right, that I know that I can't do and I'm not equipped to do. Let me just go ahead and fall into my normal role of the situation, right? So this is why, scriptures, they don't want women to teach. They don't want a lot of things because they are followers, right? And they can be easily led astray. And this proves it. I mean, a damn talking animal. That's real slick. That's some kind of way. You know what? Hey, look at all these diamonds that's on there. Oh man, you could fly. You could shoot laser beams at your eyes. I'm just saying. Just a thing where he tried to convince, Eve to go for it. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure there's more conversation than this. It's just like more like a simplified conversation here. Go ahead,
and when you look at this, the real test wasn't really for Eve. Think about this for a minute. And like Brother Aton was bringing out, she was created to be a helpmeet, not a leader. So why would the Most High recognize her? This was a test to see what Adam would do. Are you going to listen to the woman I created from your rib, or are you going to listen to me?
That's right.
In verse 6 right here, it says, "And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And I'm pretty sure that there's, if we were to see a picture, it would probably be some, what did you do, woman? That kind of thing. But it was a test really for Adam.
That's right. That's right.
Because if Adam would have said, "Get thee behind me, woman," or shut her out, and went to the Creator and like, look, the woman you created for me is eating of the forbidden tree, but I refuse to take part. That would have been
destroyed her.
That would have been Adam's test.
Well, and he would have passed it because Adam is the leader, right?
Yep.
The man is, the Most High, he gave rulership to the man, which is why the man named every single animal, every single insect, everything. Adam named everything that's on the earth, including the woman. Because remember, the woman was brought to Adam, and he said that I will call her woman because she came from my rib. Right? So Adam is the leader here. You're not, as being a general, as being a man, you are a general, period. Right? If you want to talk to, this is why it's imperative. And you see that the 12 tribes of Israel, and you see all the kings, and we saw the judges and the things like that in the Old Testament, right? What they did, and even the disciples, right? They were all men, right? They all discussed the things of the Lord amongst each other. They didn't take any advice from their women. It wasn't there, right? The only times that you see brothers and stuff taking advice from women, they end up getting killed or destroyed or becoming simps like Samson, the biggest simp in the Bible. Right? You talk to other generals because you're supposed to be in a position of leadership. Nothing like this new age doctrine that they had. Let me go ahead and, ask my wife and see what she thinks. No, you don't do none of that foolishness, right? If you want to know knowledge on something else, or you want to know a situation, right, you go to another general, which is another man, right? Women are built to follow. That's what the scriptures say. They're built to be helpmeets. So you train them up in the way that they should go, or whatever you got going on. So that way, man, they are able to handle the things that you give them.
That's right.
Right? Not the other way around. And they're trying to lead you, and they're trying to, give their advice or anything like that. Man, look at the first time that Adam took the advice of his woman. Man, he killed every damn body. Mm-hmm. Man, we have to struggle. We are a long way. We have fell off a long way from the creation, right? From the original way that things are supposed to be. Go ahead, Doc.
I want to share another one, and this is really because this gives volume to the evil spirits that are on the earth. And this is, again, this accounts for the agents on the left-hand side. The Most High is not playing. I'm going to read all of it. I'm going to read all the way through 8 because I really want you to see what's going on here. All right, is that showing up on the screen, Up?
Yeah, I can see it. Enoch 15.
Yep, Enoch 15. So I'm going to start with verse 1. I'm going to go through all verse 8, and it says, "Then addressing me, he spoke and said, Hear, neither be afraid, O righteous Chanach, which is Enoch. You scribe of righteousness, approach hither and hear my voice. Go, say to the watchers of heaven, who have sent you to pray for them, you ought to pray for men and not men for you." Verse 2, "Wherefore have you forsaken the lofty and holy heaven?" He's talking about these watchers, "which endures forever." Man, you got spiritual bodies, and you live forever, and you got a holy position to be watchers. And you turn around and you jack that up. You think that you can make a pact and go against the Almighty, "which endures forever, and have lain with women, have defiled yourselves with the daughters of men, have taken to yourselves women, have acted like the sons of the earth, and have begotten Nephilim." And those giants. All right. You being spiritual, holy, and possessing a life which is eternal. You hear that? Eternal. Have polluted yourselves with women. Have begotten. Oh my God. Let me read that again. You hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you.
It says, "You being spiritual." Now he's talking to the holy. These are the watchers, y'all. you being spiritual, holy, and possessing a life which is eternal. Man, that hits hard. That hits really hard because they had an awesome position. Have polluted yourself with women, have begotten in carnal blood, have lusted in the blood of men, and have done as those who are flesh and blood do. These, however, die and perish. Therefore have I given to them women, he's talking about man, that they might cohabit with them, that the sons might be born of them, and that this might be transacted upon earth. All right. But you from the beginning were made spiritual, possessing a life which is eternal, and not subject to death forever. So here we are. And I'll get you. We're going to get. It's going to make more sense as we get down. All right, and get into these evil spirits. These holy watchers, man. Can you imagine, man, given a position, living forever, and you had one of the best assignments of all to be a watcher, to protect the human race, advise, do your duty according to the will of the Almighty. But you go against that. You make a pact with the rest of your buddies and go against the Most High because you got a lust, because you listening to a lying spirit.
Man, they were nasty too, because in Genesis 6 it says that they slept with the regular women, like the regular one, and they slept with the giants, and they slept with the giant women. Because there were two races on the earth. There were the giant. Well, there were more than two races. There was 26 nations or something like that the Most High made at that particular time, like including the giants. So these angels, these watchers came down, right? They got the regular woman, and they had children from them, and they also slept with the giants and made children from the women that were giants.
That's crazy.
These are some lustful beings, nasty angels.
And that that's like almost like, think about it. Think about it. You're created. You're an eternal being, spiritual being, but yet you're mating with flesh and blood. That's like the equivalent of human beings laying with dogs, animals.
That's right.
Seriously, think about it. Even though we're made up of the same materials, from the dust, but we are a higher form than animals. And so these angels were a higher form than us. So by corrupting themselves and lusting after fleshly blood, they corrupted their state of being.
Man, that's ridiculous, man.
Think about it. If you really think about it, it's disgusting, because that's like, damn.
They was watching a little too hard.
That's like you said, bestiality. You would not create it to have, because you wasn't satisfied with your position, and you saw that earthly man had the ability to procreate, and you wanted some of that tail. You wanted to be able to create kids and generate your own little godlets or whatever.
Man, they was watching a little too hard, man. That's just ridiculous, man. They gotta calm down.
That was not their position. Right. Their position was to be eternal. Man, how can you not be happy with that? Verse 7. Therefore I made not women for you, because being spiritual, your dwelling is in heaven. That right there is because that tells you that there was no need of women at that time. If they were spiritual beings like that. So when the Most High created lower form, He wanted them to procreate the earth. That was the whole purpose of creating a woman.
All right. I want to deal with something, right? I'm gonna bring the title over. It says, the fallen seen angel, Satan did not lie with Eve. That's a right, because if Satan was one of the angels that because we already see what happened to the other fallen angels when they had lied with the women. What happened? The Most High, he sent them into eternal darkness. Right, they're locked up in a prison with heavy rocks on their back that are sharp, and they're buried, waiting until the day of judgment. Man, you can go to what is that? Jude, and Jude will tell you that they're in punishment. Right, Satan has not disobeyed the Lord. Right, Satan is he is a child of God. Right, he is on he is a secret agent on the left hand side, right? And I'll show you that in a minute. Satan did not lay with Eve, because if he did, he'll be with the rest of the angels that did that foolishness, right? The other 200 angels that made a pact with Sam and Nazar, and they came down and they started messing with the women, right? The Most High, he doesn't play that, right? If you disobey the Lord, especially if you're an angel, right, you will get locked up immediately, right? Even though it said that the Lord is long suffering, sure, it took him a little while for the Lord to really, I guess for him to little act, but we know that's how the Lord is, right? He takes a little while for him to act. But no, Satan did not lie with Eve. That is a false doctrine, my brother.
False doctrine. All right, let's go on here. Verse 8, it says, now the Nephilim, who have been born of the Ruach and of flesh, shall be called upon the earth evil Ruachs, or evil spirits. All right. So all these evil spirits you hear about shall possess. Let me read that part again. Now the Nephilim, who have been born of the Ruach and of flesh, shall be called upon the earth evil Ruachs, and on earth shall be their habitation. Evil Ruach shall proceed from their flesh, because they were created from above. From the holy watchers was their beginning and primary foundation. Evil Ruach shall they be upon the earth, and the Ruach of the wicked shall they be called. The inhabitants of the Ruach, the spirits of heaven, shall be in heaven, but upon earth shall be the habitation of the terrestrial Ruach, who are born on earth. Man. And in verse 9, the Ruach of the Nephilim are like clouds, which shall appear corrupt, fall, content, and bruise upon the earth. They shall cause lamentations. No food shall they eat, and they shall be thirsty. They shall be concealed, and shall rise up against the sons of men and against women, for they come forth during the days of slaughter and destruction. Man, that's powerful.
God.
And
well, let me see. There's no reason. Every animal that the Most High made was naked. All the animals are naked, right? We were, even though we're the top animal on the earth, right? We were supposed to be naked too. Like if you look around, the animals that you run around, the tigers, lions, and bears, they don't run around like being lustful about anything, because they did never take part of the knowledge of good and evil. They never took part of that, right? It's like once you know something, like once you know it's evil, right? That's an issue, right? That's just like the commandments, right? Once you know you know what I'm saying? Like as Paul says, right? I didn't know nothing was wicked unless the commandments told me, because we had to have the commandments. It's like if you are ignorant of such a thing, right? If you had no idea what evilness is or what this is, right? You cannot be judged by it because you have no idea of the situation. Right? That's just how it was in the beginning. But when you all of a sudden know it, right? And of course, as we know, as that stuff travels down through the seed and through the genetics and whatnot, because it says that we're all born with wickedness in our heart. We're all born with sin. So that tells you that stuff travels through the DNA. There's nothing that we can do about that, right? And so hold up, man. Let me show you. Let me go to Job chapter. Let me go to Job real quick.
Bring that up.
All right. So you're gonna see that Satan, he still works for God. Right? He's a secret agent on the left, and his job, right? Satan's job, his sole purpose is to tempt man. That's what the Lord created him for. The Lord created Satan as a tempter. He goes down and and I'm gonna show you another situation where the Lord himself sent Satan on David to make him count the children of Israel, so he could kill about 77,000 wicked niggas, wicked brews that was not doing what they were supposed to do, right? So we'll start right here first, right? And it says, and the Lord said unto Satan, right? Now hold up, we're talking about Job here, right? There was a man in the land of Uz, right, whose name was Job, right? Job is I can't think of the man. What tribe did Job come from? Ephraim?
Is Issachar.
Issachar, Salaki, right? Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
okay,
it was Issachar.
yeah, that's right. So Job is an Issacharite, right? Yeah, and right then, so he was staying in one of the lands of Moab over here, right? And this was and I don't like how this is because this is actually out of time, right here. But there was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, right? Job was the Issachar, right? And that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and eschewed evil, right? So this man was perfect, right? And he was born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance was 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yokes of oxen, 500 she asses, and a very great household, man. So this man was blessed in every way that you could imagine, right? So that this man was the greatest of all the men of the East, and his sons went and feasted in their houses, everyone his day. Now, this right here, right, everyone his day, they're talking about they're keeping birthdays, right? When you break this down and get down to the Hebrew, right, these guys are keeping their birthdays on this day. So this is why the Lord sent that hurricane down there and killed all 10 of them, right? But but we'll get to that. But we'll get to that some other time, right? That's another reason. Hey, you're not supposed to celebrate no birthday. That's idolatry. You're over there celebrating yourself, and you ain't damn did nothing to get here, right? So it says, and the Lord said unto Satan, right? So the Lord talking to Satan, right? Oh, hold up. Yeah, this is even better. Let me get verse 6. Let me highlight this real quick. Now there was a day when the sons of God, right, came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them, right? So if Satan was down there and he had slept with Eve, like false doctrines tell you, or he done did something like that, right? Satan would not be coming over here to the meeting where the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, right? You don't see none of the fallen 200 angels over here. No, they got put into a they're put in darkness, right? Let's go to real quick. Let me go to Jude and read that real quick, right? So you understand, like man, the Most High is not playing, right? Yeah, man, you can't just be a holy one of so you can't be a holy one and live, man. The Most High don't play that. It says right, boom, right? It says I will therefore put you in remembrance, though you once knew this, how the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterwards destroyed them that believed not, and the angels which kept not their first estate, which is the third heaven, right, but left their own habitation, just as Brother Daniel was reading earlier, right, down in Enoch, right? They left their own habitation. He has reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. So they're locked up, right? They're locked up in darkness, under darkness, in everlasting chains, right? So the Most High, he's not playing. You can't just do what you want to do and stuff like that, and the Lord just going to let you ride out. No, you're not going to be down here on the earth making it worse than it is. Because remember now, just because of the doggone serpent, or whatever kind of, whatever that serpent was that was in the garden, just because he decided to take upon himself to try to trick Eve, the Lord shut the mouth of all the animals. All the animals got shut up. The Lord's like, okay, man, that's too many damn mouths right here. Too many people talking, right? So this thing ain't gonna do nothing but multiply wickedness on the earth, right? Because now I got my head creation, right? His helpmate, she over there, listening to you, and now you over here eating up the fruit, and now you done messed up everything, right? So, right, let's go back to so you see, right? See, these angels got punished. So Satan is not going to be, there's no war in heaven, and Satan got, man, that's folly, right? Man, y'all got like the Most High. Remember now, the angels, they made a pact and they left the third heaven to go do that. They know they can't do that craziness up there, right? That's why they made a pact with each other. They try to boost each other up. Come on, man, we all can do it, man. Come on, man. Hey, come on, man, we all can do it, man. And then that's they boosted themselves up to go down there and do something stupid. Let's go back to where were we at? What was I reading at? Oh yeah, Job. That's where I was at. Salakia. Right. So boom. Right. Just to prove, right, that Satan is he's a secret agent. He's on the left hand side. Right. He comes down. He tries to he tries mankind. Right. He wants you. He tries mankind. He tries to get as many as he wants to. Right. Because he's going to get destroyed. Right. It says now there was a day when the sons. What was that statement? What was that statement? What do you say?
The last statement I went ahead and banned it. Last statement he was saying that Esau added scriptures to add confusion.
You don't even know who
It's-
Esau is, man. You probably think
it's-
Esau is the
it's-
white man, right?
Yeah, it's nonsense, man. We're not dealing with that. Just go on. Let's move on.
All right, con, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he just probably, and he's probably unlearned because he comes from the camps. So, you know, that's probably what it is, right? Anyways, right, man, the white man just got on the earth, right? The white man isn't there. Yeah, any scholar, any white scholar even will tell you that there are no white people in the Bible. So for anyone to say that the Edomite is a white man, no, man, even the doggone white man to tell you there are no white people in the Bible. Right, so the Edomites, they're not white, and we can go through plenty of scriptures where we can show you that, you know, they thought that they were Egyptians, and we know the Egyptians come from Mizraim, right? Mizraim comes from Put and Ham and all of those, right? Dark nations. Anyways, right, it says, now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan, right, the secret agent, came also among them, and the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro on the earth, and from walking up and down. And the Lord said unto Satan, now see, the Lord done put Satan on Job. Now this is not the first time that the Lord put Satan on somebody, right? And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth the Lord and escheweth evil. Now, if you read the story of Job, right, you'll see that Job was going through it, right? But the Lord is the one that put Satan on Job, right? The Lord is the one that put Satan on. The Lord is the one that put Satan on Job, because what? It's a test, right? The Lord had given him all this massive abundance on the earth, that made him the greatest man in the East, and all of this stuff, right? But we see what happens, right? The Lord put him on a test, right? The Lord put him on a test. You got something else before I go and show that
No,
Satan
go ahead.
just
Go bring it out. Yep.
come and let me go to 1 Samuel real quick. I think 7. Start verse 1. Oh, I go. Oh yeah, never mind. Let me go to 24. I'm gonna try something else, but I'll do that later. All right. It says, and it came to pass when Saul had returned from following the Philistines, that it was told to him, saying, behold, David is in the wilderness of Engedi. Right, and Saul took, right. And Saul took 3,000 chosen men out of all of Israel and went to seek David and his men upon the rocks of the wild goats. All right. Oh, you know what? I'm in the wrong one. It's supposed to be 2 Samuel. I know this didn't look familiar. Salakia, Israel. 2 Samuel. There we go. 2 Samuel 24. This is going to look more familiar. All right, there we go. Boom. Right. And again, the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he moved David against them to say, go, number Israel and Judah. Now, we all know, right, that you're not supposed to be numbering the children of Israel, right? For the king said unto Job, the captain of the host, which was with him, go now through all the tribes of Israel, from Dan even to Beersheba, and number ye the people, that I may know the number of the people. And Joab said unto the king, talking to David, now the Lord thy God add unto the people how many soever they be, an hundredfold, and that the eyes of my lord the king may see it. But why doth my lord the king delighteth in this thing? Notwithstanding, the king's word prevailed against Joab and against the captains of the host. And Joab and the captains of the host went out from the presence of the king to number the people of Israel, right? Because he's telling them what, right? You're not supposed to number them. Why? Or, why do you want to do this thing, right? Now it says, again, the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he moved David against them to say, go number Israel and Judah, right? So the Lord moved, right? The Lord wanted to move David to do this. Why, right? Now if we go down, if we go down to 24, I think it was And Job gave the number of the people 500,000. He gave us smoke. Oh yeah, that's right. Because like doing this thing, after he ended up naming, right? After he ended up counting up the children of Israel, God had gave him three choices, right? I think it was like a famine or something like that, or a hurricane, or and then something else, right? And then he tried to choose. Well, he couldn't choose, and the Lord chose for him, and he killed about I think it was like 77,000 Israelites that was doing wickedness, or maybe even 177,000. I know it was a lot, right? I know it was a lot, but we see up here that what, right? Again, it says the Lord was kindled. So who did he get? Who did God get to move David? All right, let's go to the story again. Let's go to First Chronicles. Let's go to First Chronicles. And Satan, and Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel. Like I said, right? Satan is the agent of the Lord. Satan obeys. Satan does what God tells him to do. He's not just out here willy-nilly in it, doing whatever the hell he wants to do. That's not how this works. Right? You out here, if you willy-nilly and do whatever the hell you think you want to do, you will be judged and you will be destroyed and put on hiatus until the judgment day. The Lord is not playing with you. He has agents on the left-hand side to do his dirty work. Right?
And it's a test. And it's again, it's a test. We're not, you got to understand that when these everybody's been tested. Anything that's been created, whether they've been celestial or human, we've all gone through these tests and still being tested today. So don't look at it as, don't take it personal, because when the Most High has a remnant of his people, he is going to have the most trusted, polished saints on the face of the earth. Because the Most High got to know. I mean, he knows, but you got to know for yourself. Am I going to be faithful unto death? Am I going to be faithful to the Most High? That's why you're going through those tests. The Most High already knows what the end state is going to be. This is for you. So when Adam, the Most High knew what was going to happen to Adam. But it was for Adam. This test was for Adam. That was for for him to save face. But yet, what did he do? He gave in to his woman instead of listening. Somebody who was supposed to be a helpmate, somebody who was not even a leader.
That's
like taking advice from a child.
That's right. Right. You already know it's like, man, Adam had to be great to be able to name every single thing on the earth after the Lord just bring them to him, just coming up with new names out the, you know what I'm saying? And they're memorizing all of it. Right. That we still know what the bugs and all these other things are today. Right. 2 Samuel 24. Right. Just so I show you that, he knew this was a sin. And after David's heart smote him, after he had numbered the people, and David said unto the Lord, I have sinned greatly in that I have done. And now I beseech thee, O Lord, take away the iniquity of thy servant, for I have done very foolishly. For when David was up in the morning and the word of the Lord came into the prophet Gad, David's seer, saying, Go and say unto David, thus saith the Lord, I offer thee three things. Right? This is what I was talking about earlier, so I got to read down a little bit. Right? Choose thee one of them, that I may do it unto thee. This is why it's important for you to pass the test. Right? Because if David had passed his test, man, he probably would have saved the lives of those other Israelites, even though they were doing wickedness. Right? That's what I'm saying. The Most High, he has secret agents. He'll put Satan on you, just like he put Satan on Job. Right? Satan works for the Lord. That's why he goes up to and fro down the earth, walking up to and fro like a lion, seeking who he may devour. These are on the orders of the Lord. He's not out here doing whatever the hell he wants to do. Right? Go and say it to David, thus saith the Lord, I'll offer thee three things. Choose thee one of them, that I may do it unto thee. So Gad came to David and told him, and said unto him, Shall 7 years of famine come to thee in thy land, or wilt thou flee 3 months before thine enemies, while they pursue thee? Man, these aren't no joke, right? Man, imagine fleeing 3 months before enemies, and you can't beat them, and the Lord forced you to flee like a coward. Now, David went down for that, right? or that there be 3 days pestilence in thy land. Now advise and see what answer I shall return to him that sent me. And David said unto Gad, I am in great strait. Let us fall now into the hand of the Lord, for his mercies are great, and let me not fall into the hand of man. So the Lord sent pestilence upon Israel from the morning even to the time appointed, and there died from the people of Dan even to Beersheba 70,000 men. Yeah, man, that's a lot, right? And when the angel stretched out his hand upon Jerusalem to destroy it, the Lord repented him of the evil. Now, you see this now? Another secret agent of destruction that the Lord got. The Lord has sent a secret agent to send out a whole pestilence, right, to destroy 70,000 wicked Israelites. Man, the Lord is not playing, right? The Lord is not playing at all with none of the people, right? I mean, like we have to understand, like, it's not about playing hopscotch and pity pat. With the Lord is not about these games. This is his own people. If you realize that this is the Most High's heritage, his own people. He killed 70,000, right? He killed everybody that was in the wilderness that was over the age of 19. They didn't make it, including Moses, including Aaron. They didn't make it. They never made it to see the promised land. They went to all of that stuff, everything to the Most High, all of that stuff, and they didn't make it. You got brothers zealous thinking about, oh, well, even though I'm from the tribe of Issachar, I want to be a Levite. The Lord didn't play that. Oh, yeah, okay. I told you no. I told you I had the Levites. And that's all I need. I don't need nobody else. Since you want to listen, you're going to die too. I don't know why we think that we can bend the rules and try to play the Lord like he's not smarter than us. The Lord got agents to kill, agents to maim, agents to send hurricanes. I don't know why we keep playing with the Lord. It's been over 2,000 years, and our people are still playing with the Lord like this a game out here. Y'all don't know the kind of Most High we got? Y'all don't know the kind of Lord we got? We're on the bottom. Everybody hates us. You got evil spirits on these wicked ass camps. They going up to the White House on the 4th of July, and in some kind of way, some kind of evil spirit done convinced them that they need to go up there and tell the white man he Esau, and what the Lord's going to do to them. When the Lord says, Brother Daniel's favorite verse is with fear and trembling. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to be praying for your salvation with fear and trembling, not over there harassing a damn white man.
And then when they get in trouble, they want to run to the white man when they're in trouble for help.
It's madness.
If they're out there on the course of the White House screaming that we're going to bash your children's kids in, and the next thing you know, they run to the white man for help.
Where the police, it's come on, man. It's just,
yeah, that's
sometimes
crazy.
I just wonder about our people. What does the book of Jeremiah tell you, or what to do when you're locked up and you're taking away captivity in the land of Babylon? Does it tell you to go out there and act a donkey? No. Nope. Lord, the Most High is smarter than we are. He tells you to, guess what? To be a blessing to the land, chill out, and be good people. Guess what? If you were good people, right? If you wasn't out there, I mean, like, do you think that's gonna cause us to be liked more and cause our situation to be better? If you're out there screaming at the white man, telling them, you're gonna die, we're gonna bash your babies in. Who's gonna want to be an Israelite with that foolishness going on? Nobody with a modicum of common sense is going to want to have something to do with the law, statutes, and commandments. And you got these clowns out here, doing stuff that is counteractive to our well-being. That is retarded. You are not the Most High. You don't have power to strike people down. We're the least, like, our community is destroyed. 40% abortions. We can't control our women, right? Niggas in the street. Yeah, man, we got ghettos, hoods, hood boogers, and boogaloos, and tank top Tommy, and wicked ass niggas on every corner. And you got time to take your raggedy behind up there and you want to harass the white man? What are you harassing him for? You need to be in your own hood, in your own ghettos, getting on them wicked ass niggas. That's what you need to be doing. Instead, you out there doing stuff that's not going to benefit us, not a damn thing. Absolute foolishness. Got young kids, right? They're not even in their 50s. They're not even in their 40s. Out there, just shut up. You don't have a bit of gray in your hair. You over there talking. You need to shut up and listen. If you don't have gray in your beard, you don't need to be leading nothing. You haven't lived long enough. You don't have any sense. Man, you know, they say that even today, right? Even including the white man and every other nation of man, it says that a man doesn't get his financial stride until he gets into his 40s and 50s. Did you know that? Right? That is a fact. That means that you don't get no sense on how to spend your money, no wisdom until you get older. You don't have any wisdom. You're young. This is why we're missing generations of uncles and great grandfathers and grandfathers and fathers. You know, like we're missing these links of knowledge. Right? That's what you got. Every brother or they want to go out and they want to start a new thing. Well, you know what? Nobody in my family has ever been a doctor, but let me try to and do it. No, nigga, just learn from what your father does, and then, you know, so forth and so on, and then y'all can build a business. If everybody's a brick mason and you bring up with this brick mason, and sooner or later y'all end up a whole family of brick masons, y'all easily form a business sooner or later because everybody will be good at it. Or this brother's a carpenter, this brother's a carpenter, so forth and so on. Or this brother's a tent maker. You know, these things were like family lineages that used to come up. This is how This is how our people used to live. Go ahead, Doc, man. Let me stop before I get on my soapbox, man. But it's gracious, man.
I was just getting ready to see.
Stuff's just, man. Sometimes just look around in our community, and I'll be like, man, what is y'all niggas thinking, man? What's going on out here?
So let's look at another test right here. All right, this is a really good one. You know, and I was thinking about this as Brother Aitan was reading the other verses. All right, so this is Matthew 12:43. It says, when the unclean ruach is gone out of a man. Now we're talking about a testing now, because this is what's going to happen to a lot of our people. It says, when the unclean ruach is gone out of a man, he walks through dry places seeking rest and finds none. Then he says, I will return into my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he finds it empty, swept and garnished. All right. So, you know, when our people, when they come to the truth, this is why you got to stay in these commandments. That's why you can't just be wishy-washy. You can't be living the digital life of an Israelite. You know, you got to be doing that thing. You got to be in it on 100%. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people who are woke that know who they are. They know their history, but they're not keeping no commandments. They know they're Israel. They don't know what tribe they are, but they know they're Israel. But they ain't keeping a bit of commandments. They still eating pork. They still profaning the Shabbat. They still doing whatever they want to do. But the only thing they're acknowledged is who they are. That's not enough. That is not enough. Anybody can acknowledge who they are. You know?
Absolutely.
But it's time to get those. It's time to walk. You know, faith without works is dead. Right? You can believe you an Israelite all you want to, but you don't put that into practice, it amounts to nothing. You still are walking dead. You know, that what good is that going to do? Oh, yeah, I know I'm an Israelite. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Well, what are you doing? You know, and you still eating pork. You still celebrating the holidays with your family members. You know, how you going to even be a witness to them in that state? You know, you got to be resistant. You got to fight against what did the scripture says. Hamashiach says in Matthew 10. It says, "I come not to bring peace, but a sword. I come to set variances against mother and daughter, and father and son." He didn't come. Hey, it ain't supposed to be no. When you keeping the commandments, it ain't supposed to be no peace.
That's right.
It ain't supposed to be no joysome walk, and your family's gonna have welcome arms. Oh, we're gonna welcome you with open arms. No, it's going to be contention. Why? Because you are a testimony against their wicked deeds.
That's right. Shining a light on their darkness. They don't like that.
No, no. And so it goes on to say, then goes he and takes with himself 7 other ruach or spirits more wicked than himself. See, this is where the testing part is going to come in, because for our people who are saying that, oh, I'm an Israelite, but you're not doing, you know what? At first you repented. Now that spirit is going to come back with 7 other spirits and find out this Negro ain't keeping the commandments, but he claims to be an Israelite. Oh yeah, we gonna get we gonna do him in. So then goes he and then takes himself 7 other ruachs more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked nation.
Bring it out, Doc.
So think about it. Now, we as a people, look how wicked we have gone. We have gone from a 98% marriage rate from, the 60s and before, down now to less than 15% marriage rate. The nuclear family has wickedly diminished. There's still nuclear black families out there, but man, they're too far in between. And now you have baby mamas everywhere, not married. Some of them might have been married, but majority of them aren't married. Walking around with all these kids with different men, and those are available like crazy. And those are, that's where we're at now. That is where we at. The worst state, the end state is worse than that at the beginning. Man, that is wicked. And it says it's the same thing. Even so shall it be until this wicked nation. And like Brother Aton was bringing out before, how our people are acting, this is, look, man, we're going to be here for a minute. We ain't going nowhere. And it's bad enough. It's bad enough that we get a bad rap for everything. Every time you turn on the news, we're in there jacking somebody's car, or robbing somebody, or breaking in entry or something like that, or showing videos of our people getting shot down because they're trying to be wicked and breaking into somebody. That's all you see when they commit this much crimes, and then we only make up 12%, but we get blamed for committing the most crimes when the crimes that our people commit is against themselves and not their enemies.
Speaking
but
of
it
which,
doesn't,
ahead.
and it doesn't help, because when we live the stereotypes and we portray it, and we out there, our women out there twerking and Pookies and Ray Rays doing their thing, it just solidifies the stereotypes.
Remember, man, when you were reading earlier in Genesis, we were talking about how the serpent that came and convinced Eve to do that wickedness, right? It's the same thing today. If you really look at it, it's the same thing all over again, right? The convincing of Satan. Now we know we got these fake Jews, right? And then how they had pushed this, Planned Parenthood and feminism and all of this madness, right? It's the same thing, right? These are unclean spirits on the left-hand side that have pushed our people into wickedness. If you think about it, right? Let's just think of the common sense of this, right? And matter of fact, I was getting on a sister the other day that she's married and she has a husband and everything, but she was telling how that she raised up her daughter, and now she's some kind of doctor or something like that, and she's in her 30s and she's not married, but she's having a hard time finding a husband. Right now that she's in, I was like, well, you failed as a parent, because you taught your daughter that she should go to school first and do all this other nonsense, which that should be waited for later on in life. I mean, you should raise her up to be a wife, raise her up to get a wife, to get a husband first, and then after that happens, they raise a family, then you can go and do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? After you've done your duty. The thing about this, the situation is, just the mental disconnect is there to the fact that women are so deluded nowadays, and that even fathers have helped their daughters do the same thing. Like, the men are to blame too, right? Because for this to even happen, men had to have some type of hand in it, some type of guiding hand in this stuff. Well, I'm gonna teach my daughter to be a strong, independent woman, that she don't need no man. That's foolishness unto the utmost nature. Because if you teach them to go to school and do all of this stuff and chase a career And then all of a sudden, by the time they're in their 30s, they're going to want to settle down. Any man of common sense, they're going to want to what? They're going to want family. You're not going to want to try to make a family with a woman that's 35. After she's already, that's just dumb. She's already set in her ways and her eggs are almost gone. That is not a healthy pregnancy. You have never seen champions born from women that are 35 and over, right? All these NBA stars and stuff like this that come from single mother homes, right? They're born when they're young. They have young babies. They're 18, 19, 20, right? These are the stars that we see that are growing up today. You don't have, women that's having children at 35 having NBA stars and football players and scholars and all. That does not happen. It's like, where's the common sense here? No man biologically, even his just down to the raw biological nature of how the Most High has built every man on the earth, right? You're not going to want to try to pursue a relationship or try to pursue a marriage with a woman that's that age, because what you want is legacy. You want legacy. You want children. Like the Most High says, you're supposed to, leave your father's house, go to your, go and get you a marry and be fruitful and multiply. Right? The scriptures in Psalm says that a man that has plenty arrows in his quiver, saying that, he has plenty of children, right? He's going to be happy. You're not going to be able to have plenty of children with a woman that's 35. You might have one, and there's going to be a geriatric pregnancy. It's just retarded. And then they think, and then like they're well, why does a man want me? Well, I don't really want, it's right. You have to just think about how crazy this is. Like, and the women are not getting it. That's the problem. It's like, why are you not getting it? What you have done is stupid. You have listened to the white man and his thing, and he's used the hell out of you, right? Hey, man, you know what? We're going to raise you up to go to college, and you're going to work in the white man's world, and then go to their job. You talking about you don't need a man, but you got a man that's giving you the paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? And it's like, what are you doing? Why is your brain not on? Where is your brain at? Anybody can memorize stuff out of a book. That's not hard. Any idiot can memorize a thing out of the book. Man, don't you know it says 81% of the United States took that damn COVID shot. That is an experiment to see how many dummies that do not want to use their brain and let other people think for them and let other people think for you.
All these bots.
Bots.
Cheap.
Straight to the slaughter. Right? And then you see that 78% of deaths nowadays come from what? 78% come from what? The COVID shot of deaths. It's like, y'all, it's like, man, why are you not using where is your brains at? The Most High tells you to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Not only are you leaning on your own understanding, but you leaning on the white man for understanding. You got these wicked folks, they pedophiles, and they dealing with children, and they got the Epstein list and all of this foolishness that they got going on here, and they got you telling you that, oh man, believe in all this other stuff, and you out here just eating it up, hook, line, and sinker. Whatever the white man tells you to do, yeah, I'm gonna do it. But whatever God tells you to do,
you don't want to do it,
man.
You do the opposite.
Where is your brain? Where is your brain? Your brain is on hiatus. You have took your brain out. You have buried it in the dirt, 6 feet under, and you're walking around like zombies. There's no way that you should believe in this stuff that's going on here.
That's why they made that movie, The Walking Dead. Man, that's our people to a T. The Walking Dead,
man,
totally destroyed. Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Matter of fact, let me bring that up right quick. Because I know we see it all the time, but let's see why they're destroyed for a lack of knowledge. I'm telling y'all, man, this thing is, and the way we're going to see it, and I hate to say it, but, we're going to see our people destroyed. People don't like to talk about, see, here's the thing. We like to talk about the destruction of our enemies all the time, but when it comes to destruction of our people, we want to say, we want to, we don't want to accept why it's been happening. When you look at that hurricane that happened in Katrina, look, you gotta take the crookeds with the straights. Our people are wicked too. And the Most High, what did the Most High say? He said that judgment will start at the house of the Most High. Hey, our people are not exempt. If you want to be wicked, it says, my people, is that on the screen now? Okay, yeah.
I can see it, my brother.
It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because you have rejected the knowledge. I will, what is that knowledge? Watch this. I will also reject you, that ye shall be no priest to me, seeing you have forgotten the Torah of your Elohim. I will also forget your children. All right. So what is this knowledge that we are destroyed? Keeping the commandments.
That's right.
Our people will do everything else. They'll take up picket signs. They'll go to pass the pork chop. They'll go give money to these fake ish people. They'll go, man, and they'll go to 100 miles, but they'll do everything from A to Z, but except for keep the commandments and repent. That right there tells you, man, that they're destroyed. This is what this is saying. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, and that knowledge is the knowledge of the keeping of his commandments. All right. And I'll prove that to you with a precept. You know, if you go to Ecclesiasticus 19, it says, the knowledge of the commandments of Yahweh is the doctrine of life. And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. All right. Read that again. Yeah, it says the knowledge. So remember, our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. It says the knowledge of the commandments of Yahweh is the doctrine of life. This is what our people are destroyed from. And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. The fear of Yahweh is all wisdom. All right. And in all wisdom is the performance of the Torah and the knowledge of his omnipotency. So you got to be keeping the commandments, y'all. You got to be faithful. You can't be scared to guard the commandments for the Most High. Just like Brother Eitan brought out earlier with this whole COVID shot. You know, many people got succumbed into that because they were fearful. They were scared. They didn't want to trust in the Most High. They would rather trust in some vaccine some man created than knowing that, hey, the Most High made us. You know, he has fearfully and wonderfully made us. You know, our bodies were meant to self-heal itself.
That's right, man.
We've been doing it for thousands of years. You know, it's like when you get a cut. You don't got to tell that cut to heal itself. It's going to naturally heal itself. Same thing with diseases and all these infections. You know, your body get it. You may get down from the weather, but you know your body will create antibody antigens for it and everything, and resist it next time. So that way your immune system is stronger the next time. That's just the way how the Most High designed our bodies.
The scriptures say, "It is better to trust in the Lord." That's right. And to put confidence in man.
That's right.
It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man.
And he that make man his right arm, his flesh, you know, that's dangerous.
You know, that's my favorite one right there. You know, you already know. That's my favorite right there.
That's why you shouldn't follow no man, no envy, no man. Yeah, respect it, study it, watch, and emulate it if what he's doing is right in the Most High's eyes. You know, and that is you know, the way we do it. You know, precept upon precept, line upon line. Here a little, there a little. All right. So again, you know, when we talking about the lesson, agents on the left hand side, just remember what Satan is here to do. All right, you're going to be tested beyond measures, and even as we finish this post, guess what? You know, weeks from now, days, weeks, months, years, we're all gonna continue to be tested.
It says, "Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man." See, the Lord's not playing. You're not supposed to trust in no damn man, especially not the white man, not the government, not these heathen. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord." Right? You know what? At Brother Daniel's job, he's in the military, right? At my job, right? You know, I do HVAC, right? I trust wholeheartedly. You know, before I got hired at this company or any company, I told them from the beginning, hey, listen, if I can't keep the Lord's commandments, if I can't keep the Shabbat, if I can't keep the new moon days, I will not be working here. I've never had a problem getting hired ever. I put an application, I get in, right? I've been I'm with this company damn near 10 years now. Never missed a Shabbat. They don't call me on the Shabbat. They don't call me on the new moon days. They got people working for me even when I'm on call. You know why? Because I trust in the Lord. That's how, when you have full faith in the Lord will make your enemies be at peace with you. It says, for he shall be like the heath in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in the salt land, and not inhabit it. Verse 7, blessed be the man that trusteth in the Lord, in whose hope the Lord is. Right? I have never gone hungry. The Lord has always looked out. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see it when heath cometh. But her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. That means that she'll be able to drink up all the tree, just drink up all the water. It's not even gonna think about being hungry. If the Most High feeds the birds and the bees and all these other things, right? What do you think he's going to do to you if you're obeying him and you're being a pleasing soul unto the Lord? The Lord's going to look out. It's the lack of faith that our people have, right, that prevents them from getting blessings. You have to have faith. That means you have to believe. Like if you go in there and you're timid, boss man, I supposed to keep the Shabbat. You think you can give me the day off? You think that man's gonna give you the day off? No, you don't go like, man, you go from day one, stepping in there, full blown confidence in the Lord. Hey, I ain't working for y'all if y'all don't if y'all don't give me the Shabbat and the new moon off. I need these days off because these are days of the Lord. And you're gonna get them off. Because you have faith. Faith gives you confidence in the Most High. Just like Job, he had faith in the Lord. So much faith that when Satan even came upon him, he was able to withstand the wiles of the devil. Well, he almost died, boils on his face, killed all 10 kids, right? The Lord blessed him again with more beautiful everything, 7 times fold than what he had before. And he was already the greatest man in the East. Faith in the Lord. You got to have faith in the Most High. Faith in Hamashiach. Faith in Yahweh Shai.
Bring it out.
That you'll be able to fight these wicked spirits or these spirits on the left-hand side, right? So when your test comes, you'll be able to pass it, right? It's not too late to repent. Every single one of us, we have the ability to repent. That means to turn aside from your wicked ways and return back to the Lord, right? The Lord, with faith, the Lord will forgive you. He'll forgive every one of us. You're supposed to forgive your brother. It says 7 times if your brother messes up, 7 times if he comes to tell you sorry 7 times. Hey, guess what? You got to forgive him. Why? Because you done did that to the Lord. No telling how many times. Even if it's 77 times, some of us 7,000 times you didn't cut up for the Lord and keep asking for forgiveness. Lord, I'm gonna get it right this time, Lord. I'm gonna get it right this time, Lord. The Lord's still gonna accept you back. That's the beauty of the blood of Yahweh Shai. But you can't keep messing up, right? You're gonna have to get it right. You're gonna have to fully repent. And do not return back to the vomit like a dog does. You know how nasty that is, when the dog throws up and then you see him go back and eat his vomit? That is disgusting. But that's the same thing that we do every time that we decide to disappoint the Lord and go back to that same old sin that we know we're not supposed to do. We let that evil spirit come upon us and And just like Brother Daniel had read earlier, right? Sometimes you might be a drunkard, right? You used to like to drink, right? So you quit drinking, right? So you quit drinking for a little while, and so the scripture said you can have a sip here and there, you don't drink to get drunk, right? The scriptures say that, but some brothers can't do it because they have an addictive personality. But let's say if you're one of those brothers with an addictive personality and you like to drink, and next thing you know, you're just getting drunk all the time. That is wickedness, right? Because when you're drunk, right, when you're inebriated, right, your guard is down, and you're gonna do stupid stuff every time, right? You're gonna end up going off and doing something that you're not supposed to be doing. That's why you don't get drunk. You don't get blackout drunk. You're not supposed to be getting wild like that. Now, let's say if you're a brother and you quit drinking because that's your personality. Lord, I repented from my wicked ways. I don't drink anymore, Lord. I am now a clean house. But you backslid like a backslided heifer, like the scriptures say, and then you took a drink. And next thing you know, you done got 7 wicked spirits. Now you're way worse of a drunk than you were before. Now I know you've seen people do that. They quit, and now all of a sudden they're the biggest wino that you've ever seen. Mm-hmm. It's going to be hard as hell for them,
especially if there was an alcohol.
Bring it out.
Like a heavy
back.
Like Brother Eitan was saying, moderation, nothing wrong with that. Scriptures, because our forefathers strong drinks, but in moderation. But if you abuse it and you just like heavy and it's messing yourself up, that's when you gotta give it up. And then saying, man, you come back and hit that drink relapse. Because I used to work with people. It was one of my jobs that I had. I used to work with Alcohol Anonymous people who were had that issue and everything too. So, but yeah, I've seen people come in, man, and kick the habit, and then there were some who just they always relapse.
And tell them how bad the relapses used to be that you used to see. Tell them how bad the relapses.
Man, it was bad. Shakes and stuff like that. It's almost like equivalent to a crackhead not having no drugs. It's bad. And gambling is one of the worst. I've known people who've had a hard addiction, couldn't keep money, man, broke, sell up their house and everything. Whole family struggling. I mean, it's no joke. When the spirits get on you like that, and you got that habit, and then you try to break free, and this is why fasting is important. But at the same time, Most High gives you the victory. You just at the end of the day, you have to really be strong and make that decision.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got anything else, Sock? I pretty much got the point.
Yeah, I think so. And we really appreciate you all coming on and hanging out with us. And we really enjoy these lessons. That's all we do. We go through scriptures because we want our people to be well informed. All right, we don't want to be held accountable. Saying that, hey, we knew the scriptures and we never shared them with you all.
That's right.
Hey, look, we're going to deliver our souls because, we're going to make sure that we ain't giving you no false stuff. We coming up, we ain't speaking from our own understanding. We are speaking, thus saith the Most High. We're coming straight from the scriptures, showing you the scriptures. So, however you take that and you work with that, that's on you.
That's right.
Because like I said, everybody, like the scripture says, everybody has to work out their own salvation with fear and trembling. Right. And we all will go through our tests. You might not go through the same test I will go through or Brother Eitan, but each one his own test is going to be a test that's going to try you. And it could be something very insignificant to us, to someone else, but to you, that can be the greatest test in the world.
That's right.
I'm just saying, everybody has their own little test that they have to go through. You might have a test of going through. You can't hold money because of a gambling issue or whatever, or you dealing with spirits, or you got a temper or something. It's so many. Sky's the limit. So, but we each have our own test that we have to deal with, and the scripture says that we're going to go through the fire. We're going to have to be tried through the fire's gold. Not everybody is going to make that fire because people are going to belly up, at the first sign of the red light flashing, people are going to belly up.
That's right. That's not what, and that's another thing too. Well, to kind of a little bit off topic, but a lot of people, like a lot of our people, always desire to be rich or whatever. A lot of our people, man, if you get a lot of money, you don't need, man, you will be head first going to the lake of fire because you don't know how to handle it. Oh, I got all this money now. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get me a whores and harlots, and I'm gonna and I'm gonna go ahead and get the I mean, like, just all kinds of wickedness because you're not gonna know how to handle it. Sometimes you don't understand that the Most High, He's saving your soul by not giving you this or by not giving you this, right? Because He says that He is the one that creates the increase, right? That gives us the increase. It's the Most High that does that. So He knows what you can handle and what you can't handle, right? Especially a young man with the money, they'll soon soon depart with his money like a fool with his money, like the scriptures say, right? Everybody is just like Brother Daniel was saying, we're all different. We got everybody has a different test. Like, for example, like Job, right? His test, the Lord robbed him of his health and robbed him of all his riches because Satan, right? Satan has saw that, this is something he valued. He valued being looked up to in the streets, that being the greatest man. So I'm gonna take that away. That was his tailored what is it? His tailored that was his tailored judgment, right? For him, what I'm saying, to see if he can withstand that temptation. That was his tailored temptation. Well, if I take this away from him, maybe he'll go off and start cursing the Most High. Nah, he didn't do that, right? He might have had a few questions, like, Lord, hold up now. I thought I was doing what's good. Why am I getting hit upside the head? What did I do wrong, really? Right? The Lord told him, chill out, man. I got this. You know what I'm saying? You're just going through a little something right now, and I'll give it all back to you. We all got our own, just like Brother Daniel was saying, we got our own. Everybody has their own test, right? When it comes your way, right? You may feel that you're just maybe back in the past that you was being you might have had a girl who was a baby mama that you was laying down with, right? You know better than doing that. Then all of a sudden you start keeping the commandments and you're doing real good, and you ain't talked to her in a long time, and next thing you know, she hit you up. Hey, big head, how you doing? And next thing you know, you out there being wicked.
That's why there's a wisdom, man. There is a solemn wisdom in keeping these commandments, because when you really think about it, you look at our people, right? And anytime you have our people, somebody who wakes up, right, and they're very sincere and they're keeping the commandments with all their hearts and mind and soul, do you know that there's a peace of mind that they have? And I'm telling you, I can speak for myself. I can speak for Brother Aton, but there's a peace of mind that you have. It's like a knowledge that, like, nobody else knows that you have. And it's like you wonder, like, how come people can't see it? And it's because they've been blinded, because they are not keeping them. And it goes back to Hosea 4. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because they have rejected the Torah. And this is why they can't see with spiritual eyes. This is why they can't see what you see. So some of you, you try to witness to your family. You're trying to show them the truth, about these holidays and how important it is to keep the commandments. And they scorn you. And it's like the verse in the scriptures that says, do not cast your pearls to swines, lest they turn against you, because they can't see it, because they've been blinded. So to them, it's like they're still in darkness. They can't see that. They can't see what you say. And I know that gets frustrating for a lot of our people, but you got to understand that not everybody is meant to see this light. Not everybody is meant to keep the commandments. I mean, I hate to say it that way, but a wave to a drop. And that's something that I had to really grapple with for a long time, because I'm telling you, I was trying hard. I was getting frustrated. I'm like, how in the world our people can't see who they are and the wickedness that they're doing? How come they can't see the wickedness in these idols that they're celebrating?
That's right.
They don't see it. They'll fight you over it.
That's right.
I mean, man, and it's crazy, because they'll die for these holidays. They'll die. I mean, they'll go to their grave celebrating these holidays and tell you that they're proud to do it.
And then keep one Shabbat.
No.
Then keep one new moon. That's just, I don't know. It's like, It's scary, really, when you look at it. It's scary, really, when you look at it. How incorporated our people have become into the heathen. Like, we don't even know our own history. Everything is given to us, was pretty much just given to us by the white man. Celebrating birthdays and all these damn holidays and holidays, like Brother Daniel likes to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, they call it a holiday. That's a play off a holy day.
Yeah, exactly.
They
Yep.
just changed the I, right?
Yep.
I mean, yo, man, it's amazing. I mean, like, it really is amazing. That's why the brother Daniel, when he brought out the beginning of the wisdom, is keeping the commandments. Like,
Sure.
you're not gonna have any understanding of what's going on around you until you begin to keep the commandments. That's what wakes you up. That what gives you the ultimate wisdom, like the ultimate third eye for it to open up and for you to understand what's truly going on. Is you have to keep the commandments. The more you get used to it, the more you do it, the more wisdom will start to pour into your soul, into your body, into every joint, every crevice that you have. And so you'll be able to see wickedness before it comes. You'll be like, hold up, man. I'm not dealing with this type of brother because, I already see what he's about. So let me back away. All right. I'm not going to deal with this over here. I can't deal with this over here. Let me stay focused over here. Right. Because the commandments and keeping and reading the scriptures and reading the different accounts and the different history that our people have gone through for not keeping the commandments, because there's plenty of examples in there of what happens when you don't keep the commandments, how you can go off, like Samson, for example. Right? Samson is like, to me, he's the biggest simp of the Bible. You weren't even supposed to be messing with them. He's not supposed to be, oh, she pleases me. Yeah. Yeah. What? Right. The Lord told you to shut the hell up. Don't tell nobody your secret. That's what God told him. You're not supposed to tell nobody where you get your secret from. Say where's the secret from your strength is from. Right? He just couldn't help it. He just seen this woman try to trick him numerous times. Bind me up with some ropes, made of this and that, and they're brand new, and then they'll be able to come in and get me. Right? This is not a game. Right? This is not a game. And then, he did this and a number of times. Like, he should have known, even though, so what, man? Okay, you was getting the cheek, so what? But the woman was still not your friend. She didn't really love you like that. The biggest simp of the Bible. He ended up telling her, oh, yeah, well, the secret, finally, after she nagged and begged and harassed him and cried and stuff, when he should have known from the beginning that she did all that. Every time that it happened, she always, tried to set him up, and he didn't get it. Well, you know what? The truth is in my hair. Man, the Lord said, how dare you simp at all right. Hey, man, how dare you simp? Let me go ahead and burn your eyes out with hot coal sticks. Imagine the pain he had to go through, man. The Most High is the one that put the spirit on these heathens to do him like that, because the Most High was mad. How dare you give up your secret of your strength that I blessed you with? Let me go ahead and sear them eyeballs out with hot coals. Let me go ahead and tie you up for a little while, let you push that big old thing down and churn the mill or whatever. Then let me tie you up in the funeral. He got played for years on end. Imagine how long it took him to grow his hair all the way back to locks. Man was blinded for life. What kind of idiot is that? You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing Adam did. He over there, he got the scriptures. He has the history. He knows what's going on. He still could not help himself.
And the sad part with Samson is that he knew the truth, but he didn't truly come to the truth until he was ready to die.
Facts. That's
the sad part. It shouldn't have to be that way, but Well, Yasharel, hey, look, I know we've talked enough.
Facts.
And hey, well, pray that you all really were edified in this, that you got plenty of precepts. I pray that you're writing these precepts down, add them to your precept list, so you can go back and review these scriptures. Build that arsenal, so that way, as according to Ephesians 6, you have the armor of the Almighty on you, so that way you know how to deal with anyone, who's trying to bamboozle you. All right, you better to arm yourself with the scriptures, cut them with the scriptures, because you know what you're doing, you know what you're talking about. So that's how we defend the Most High's laws. And yeah, we're gonna stick out like a sore thumb because as the months go by, the years and things like that, it's gonna get worse. It really is. It's gonna get worse for our people. And the Most High has Trump in office for a reason. And I'm not trying to brag or make it seem like or support. I don't, heathens are going to get destroyed regardless. But you got to understand that he's being used to test our people because now our people are going to have to get their stuff together. They're going to have to stop playing the victim. They're going to have to stop, for the most part, stop being wicked because it's not going to get no better for them. But Pastor Porkchop's not going to be able to save you.
Thanks.
The what's the NCAAP? What what is that black organization group?
Yeah, that's
always
NAACP.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to help you. No picket signs are not going to be able to help you. The only thing that's going to help you is repenting to the Most High and keeping these commandments. That's it. But that's the one thing our people haven't done. They do everything else, but keep the commandments, man. That's insanity, man. What is insanity? It's like doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That's insanity.
Right.
It's like going into a ring and you getting kicked with one leg all the time. That your opponent is kicking you with one leg because you refuse to do another move, but you keep walking up to that kick, and you getting kicked in the face, but you're not trying to block it or nothing. Then you walk up again and get kicked in the face again. You're not changing your strategy, and then you just keep getting you kicked in the face. Like, dang, like you see where the kick is coming from. You need to maneuver around that. Like, why you keep doing the same thing? And you still getting your butt kicked all the time. That's the way our people are. We do the same thing, man. And if we go out and do the same thing over again and expect why people are hurting us.
And it's not like we don't have the secret of what works. We can read clearly in the scriptures, and we can see times when brothers are obeying the law, statutes, and commandments, like Brother David, and so on, so forth, and so on, right? That we were getting blessed. That is the trick. That is the cheat code, just to obey. But we don't want to do that, though.
Nope. That is crazy.
That's it, brother. I don't have nothing else, man. You can close us out if you.
All right, Yasharel. But hey, all praises to the Most High. What a blessed Shabbat day. Pray that you enjoy the rest of your rest of the Holy Shabbat of the Almighty. And remember, meditate, pray, study those scriptures. All right, study the righteous acts, and not only study them but act upon them. Put those pure thoughts in your mind on the Shabbat. Take away those worries. Hey, anything that you got to do that's on your mind that's causing you stress, you need to eliminate it.
That's right.
Use the Shabbat to refresh, sit in the sun a little bit. Activate your melanin, all that. But with that being said, enjoy the Shabbat, and we're gonna bid you a hearty Shabbat Shalom.
And stay strong, Israel. Stay strong.
Sir.